Welcome to Roo Code Office Hours. My name is Hannes Rudolph, and I'm your host. Today, I am here with Adam, who is Gosu Coder, the YouTube streamer, as well as Dan, who is one of our engineers. Welcome, Adam and Dan. How's it going today, Adam?
Fantastic, actually. Had a lot of really interesting things come up over the last week that hopefully we'll get to chat about a few other things. But the hackathon was also cool, so it'll be fun to chat about that too. So it's been a fun week.
Yeah. Cool. And how about you, Dan?
Pretty good. Really excited to talk about some topics today. Hopefully we have enough time.
I think when we were chatting about a little earlier was the race of the CLI.
Yeah.
So we will get into that shortly. I think we should open by first. Let's talk about the hackathon we had and the hackathon that we're going to be having here coming up this weekend. So I'll start by thanking Z.AI for their, I guess, for hosting a hackathon that we were guests at, and for the prizes that they gave to our winners here. I'm going to post more about this on the YouTube video in the links there. So if you're watching this, see below. And I guess they might be showing up here for the stream. Depends, their time zone. We're trying to arrange it. Things don't always work out there. But yeah, thank you again. And then Adam, you said, you thought it would be good to talk about some of those things. Let's hear it. You were a judge, weren't you?
I was, yeah. I think, excuse me. I think GLM 4.5 is a model that I think more people should give some attention to. And then I've actually been playing around with GLM 4.5 Air, and both of those models are incredibly good. So,
and that was Z.AI. They're the ones that put those out?
They're the ones that put those out. So it's definitely something to keep an eye on to see kind of what they do next and, give those a try, because I actually used GLM 4.5 Air locally a lot yesterday, and that was, a decent experience.
Yeah. Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about the winners? What went down? What were people's experiences and so on?
Yeah, I'd say the entries were kind of all over the place, but in general, there were some that were insanely polished, like actual solved real problems. And we did have some debates on that. It was really interesting. I think I saw AI Code King in the audience here. He had some different opinions than what I had, and then we had a third judge too, which I think is on the Roo Code team. And so we landed in I think a really good spot. And Skillsheet, I thought, was an incredible one. So you just pulled that
out was number one.
That was number one. I had that very highly ranked in my list. I think they did a great job of combining the use of AI and actually building something that's kind of practical, and it was a very slick, good experience. I don't know. I actually really like this one because I could see a person coming out of college or something and trying to figure out what they should do in their resume, and this did a great job helping you kind of format it. Yeah, let's see what this ends up doing if you hit generate code. I'm curious if they have the AI still hooked up. They do.
Well, there we go. My whole resume, I work at Roo Code. Yes, these are the winners, by the way. This is number one. I managed to pull it up. Thank you, Luz, for that. Oh, we have a winner on stage here.
Amazing.
I don't know what's going on. Sometimes, Okay, so here is a draft. I have not explored these fully. And so can you tell me what this tool does, Adam?
Yes, I mean, you can actually even go back and select templates that you actually want to generate your resume from. And then you could just chat with AI to help build a nicely formatted PDF that you can download of your resume. I thought it was really well done.
Okay.
So see the different templates you can pick there? So you can have one that's kind of styled cool. I can see you add more. It's super cool.
Okay. And so I can just talk to it and tell it, my name is Hannes Rudolph, and we'll add it to the resume here, and then I can keep adding things to it, or what?
Yeah, and I mean, you could say here's my job history and all that stuff, and it'll end up creating you a resume.
Oh, wow.
Yep. You got to get like all your history and all that stuff. You can just kind of talk to it. So it, yeah, I wouldn't give your phone number, but
I mean, my phone number's all fives. This is a movie,
you,
right?
you guys should call that.
Mhm.
See if that's.
Yeah, double check. Okay. See, my contact information's missing here. It's thinking, what's it going to do?
Yeah.
I've
I
updated
just,
your resume. I'm not sure
I
where
thought
I
this
see
was like
that.
a really, really
Okay.
polished experience. So apparently that didn't update for you. That's interesting. So they've got some
Well,
bugs to work out.
that's
But
that's how it is.
oh wait, hit apply edit at the bottom.
Ah,
Try to see what that does. Or no,
instruction required.
got it. Okay.
Update phone number. Boop, boop,
Yeah,
boop.
maybe.
Yeah. Do you know what model this is using?
I do not know what model this is using, but I bet it's GLM 4.5.
Yeah. It's a pretty great model.
Yeah.
When using it, is there a specific temperature, when using it in Roo Code? How should we configure it?
Yeah, 0.6 to 0.7 is kind of the sweet spot for that one. In Roo
Okay.
Code, it works really well because it just does a good job with the prompt-based tool calling that you guys do.
Well, it does not want to refresh, but that being said, it is a hackathon. It is a,
There are
it's an
bugs in it.
MVP. No,
Yeah.
that's totally it. No, so
Yeah.
that's really cool. I like it. Looks great. The other, let me see if I've got some of the other ones here I can pull up.
Yeah, that'd be neat.
The other one I have a YouTube video is number the second one, so I'm not gonna pull that up. And then here's third place. It is a Pokedex.
Yeah, I thought this one was styled like super nice. I thought they did a good job kind of laying this out, sorting. And as you can see, I'm wearing my Pokemon shirt, so it kind of did tug at the
Nice.
heartstrings a little bit because I definitely was a big Pokemon fan back in the day.
You know what? My kids are on and off about Pokemon. One of these days, I know they're going to actually learn how to play the card game.
So
For
the
now,
thing to
they
kind of
just collect them.
yeah, and it's a fun game, but to put this in perspective, the amount of work that went into not only get the graphics for this, but the like hidden abilities, the like the types, the even like the physical characteristics, the numbers, like all of that uh, could not have been, trivial. There's probably like something they could go download, but I've played around with making these things in the past, and I had to actually build like web page skimmers to go and get some of the information I needed. So
Interestingly enough, I recall talking with this individual during the hackathon, and they had said how they think that GLM 4.5 must be trained on some of this because I don't think that they actually populated all the data here.
it just had it all in there. That's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see them make it, but I'm
That's
inclined to
wild.
trust people, and yeah, so I don't know. It's pretty wild, is right.
That's wild. Yeah, that just goes back to like something I worked on years ago, and I spent days like skimming stuff off of Pokemon.com and like everywhere to try to make something like this. It's
So,
amazing what you do.
so I think this is just using an API for that, and also the fact that there's so many projects like this online that I'm sure were included on the training data for the model. I'm pretty
Okay.
sure there's so many projects like this. It just
It just
now knows,
yeah,
how to do it, which API to use, and all that.
yeah,
So
that's incredible.
Cool. Well, there we go. There's the data. Yeah, you're right. See, we got it right there. View source.
PokeAPI.co. Yep,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah. So we're going to post some links to this. And now we are going to move on to some announcements. Let's talk about this stealth model that came out. Have you had a chance? I mean, it's not a stealth model anymore. Sonic is Grok Coder Fast, I believe is what it is. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your experience, Adam, using it?
Man, So for the most part, I was not highly impressed with the model from a coding
Okay,
perspective.
that's fine. Yeah.
Yep. I would say
Hey,
though,
be frank.
I do really like the speed of it, and I've heard that it's improved. So I've heard it's actually been updated recently, and that it actually performs better. So my analysis is really based off of it being purely Sonic related, when it was just Sonic. The other thing I would say is like the price has come in so low, and it appears to have prompt caching built in from day one. So this could be a model that is a great value, because you get great speed, incredibly cheap with prompt caching. That it may actually end up just being a thing that you want to use for lighter tasks. I think I posted this on X the other day. You don't need the biggest, baddest model to put a button on a screen. Like, you don't need a model that has all the corpus of human intelligence like embedded into it. This might be a great cheap model to just do like light work that you need.
Well, I think one of the impressive things about this that Grok has done is they have come up from behind. I think a lot of people doubted their ability to make a model that could even be considered in the race, and they've put this together in fairly short order. So to me, that actually that gives me a lot of hope for the continued advancement here, because I'm really hoping that they are able to push the other guys too to really advance this, because I mean, some people like Grok, some people don't. That's fine. I'm here to use the model that kicks the most ass. And if it kicks ass, then I want to use it. And so, all the power to them. Congratulations, X. You guys have really, really done something here in a crazy short amount of time.
Yeah, honestly, don't want to belittle any of that. Like, it is amazing how quick they've caught up on that. And the fact that it's doing tool calling as flawlessly as it is here is incredible. But at the end of the day, like
that was short.
It came out at a very cheap price. It's such a fast model, but unless it's changed, this was not going to work for you. Let's just take a look. But
I don't think it's what?
Did it work?
I mean,
it did work. So this is better than it was when I was using it before. Like it would, but the price of this, that was kind of weird because you like went into the two.
Well, I mean, there's some physics things.
For sure.
Okay, let's see. Okay, I can't do it. I'm never okay. Technically, it works. I could just say, "Hey, slow down that game."
That could be just a skill issue. This actually looks good.
Okay, so every one of these games actually works, and the first two need some adjustments to the physics, I guess, but they work.
Which is better than where Sonic was when I was using it, a week ago. So they definitely have improved it. If that's
that did not take very long.
It's so fast, and like look at the token count. Like if you expand down, how many tokens did you send up in this request here? So you said 200K.
Yeah.
So what is that going to be? 2 pennies? That's going to be 2 cents, and then 6.8K. That's going to have cost you maybe 4 cents. I'm roughing it, right? But yeah. That's incredibly cheap model. So I think there's a good value here.
Well, I think that if people are willing to babysit as well, which a lot of people are, if you're willing to not babysit, but be involved in the process, not just straight up vibe code, which I think a lot of engineers, real engineers, that's where they're most comfortable anyways. Then I really think that this kind of model works because they can get it to do, you go, hey, change this functionality of this document. They're working on it, right? Change how this works. Boom, it's done. They're ready to go. And that type of pair programming with a fast model. When you have a slow model, it's very much either a patient person or a vibe coder, because I'm not going to sit there and watch GPT-5 High for 30 minutes do what this dish did. But if I was like, well, here, let's try it. Snake is way too fast. Okay.
Yeah, so this goes to our conversation we were having last week. There's just different ways to use it. I very much am the type of coder that you talked about, where I want speed. I like speed and value. And if I can guide it to do what I want to do, but then I also periodically need a model to do some like deep planning or analysis, and I'm okay at that being slower. But when I'm actively like coding, I want it to be very fast and snappy. And this is great. Like,
Dan,
look how
what do you
fast that
think?
is.
It's definitely hard to get used to a slow but effective model like Opus was when I was working solely with Gemini. I think it definitely got. I had to get used to Opus being slow, and now with GPT-5, it's way slower. If you have it on medium or high reasoning, I think there's a balance because I don't like waiting for that amount of time when I'm
Right.
using GPT-5, but I can wait for Opus. And Opus is slow in some, if you compare it to some other models like Sonnet and GPT and Gemini Pro. So yeah, it gets time to get used. You need to find the right balance between effectiveness and slowness. In my case, Opus is just perfect for me. But I think I can go with a model that is just like a bit more effective than Opus, which is hard to achieve because Opus is great. If it is a bit slower, that's fine as well. So yeah.
Okay.
For Hellenic, I do think
Go
this
ahead.
model is quite good at with UI, and being so fast, I think you can use it to
Can iterate.
create quick changes, quick prototypes to show. It's definitely a useful model for that, for sure.
Okay.
So
So
there's one big flaw with that code you just showed there. Is they're basing it off of your frame rate, not based off of time. So that means if you were running on a computer that is way faster or way slower, you're going to get a different performing state. So that's just something to call out. You just got to watch stuff like that in these games,
yeah,
or
well, that
or
makes
not in
sense.
games, in code.
Yeah, no, I guess that's a telltale sign of slop. Hey, it got the job done, but it's almost like using true to pass a test.
Yep.
Okay, so let's. Can you examine the physics of the Flappy Birds game? Seems a bit janky.
I love
I
that.
had it took a few tries on the snake refactor. They're fixing it because I forgot to refresh the page, so I backed it off. I restored the checkpoint. We went from
Oh,
there.
so Hannes, do you want to answer the question from Matt, your boss?
What is
He's
the
asking
question, boss?
which non-anthropic / Google / OpenAI model is going to be the first to break 90% on the evals?
Which non-anthropic model?
Yeah, basically Anthropic, Google, OpenAI, model is going to break 90% on the evals. Yeah, which lab?
Probably X.
You think?
Cool.
Yeah, this is their fast model. This is their first model. This is not the end for them. They're I know Elon Musk can be a bit of a hype king, but he says that they're gonna hit AGI or whatever by the end of the year, or at least the news feed said something they probably took out of context. The point is he's a shoot for the stars kind of guy, and I think that they're definitely going to hit the moon, and so they're going to come up and have a model that passes this. I'm guessing within a month they'll have something because this is just the fast model. They're still making the other stuff happen. So what do you think, Adam?
I'd put it on Quinn. I think I'm actually surprised Quinn 3 Coder hasn't already scored greater than 90% on your evals.
The
To be
reason
honest.
why I put it on X is because of the speed at which they are working. It seems
Yep.
when DeepSeek, GLM, they come out and they have somewhat of a normal, 3, 4, 5 month type before their next advancement. And X seems to be cutting it down
It's
like half.
it's tough because on one hand, when when the latest Grok version came out, they said a couple weeks we would have a coding version, and it did
Yes.
go longer than that. So I mean, it's tricky. That looks way
Yeah.
better, by the way.
Still a little janky, the physics. It drops too quick.
Oh yeah.
And the bumping isn't bad. I mean, I'm just hitting. Okay, so it works. Anyways, I mean, that's really quite great. I like that. So, yeah, we have covered our new model, the new Grok Fast model. We have covered the last week's hackathon, and now I would like to cover this week's hackathon. It is MLH, Major League Hackers. They're a great organization, and they're putting on a hackathon with us, sponsored by Requesty. They are the provider, and they're going to be providing free compute for Gemini 2.5 and Flash 2.5, Gemini 2.5 Pro. And yeah, we're going to be having that starting Friday. So we're very excited for that. And so far, we've had over 350 registrants. I'm going to post the link in the information here. Do you have any questions about that? I know you participated, Adam, in the again, as I said earlier, you're one of the judges. Do you have any questions about this upcoming hackathon?
No, but I'm super excited about it. We got a decent number of entries for the Z.AI one, but this one is going to be next level. Probably the biggest hackathon that I've seen, at least online, in a while, where it's ran like this. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm going to post a link for you guys. Our top prize is going to be, well, actually, before we get to the prizes, let's talk about, let's look over this schedule for a moment.
I love it.
So I mean, these guys are serious.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be, go ahead.
It's very well put together. Like, this thing seems legit.
Yeah, we're going to be having some discussion, showing people how to use Roo Code. Yeah, open remarks, closing remarks. This is pretty wild. All participants will receive free compute power courtesy of Requesty.ai, including Gemini Flash Pro credits to supercharge your builds. Requesty is a leading AI provider gateway trusted by 15,000 plus developers, known for optimizing large language model routing with intelligent model selection, cost savings, and seamless fallback mechanisms to ensure reliability and performance. On top prizes, we have the best hack is $500 in Requesty credits per team member, up to 5 members. Best design, $300 in Requesty credits, $300 per team member. And first best time hack. So they've got quite the process for judging. I think we have over 10 judges already set up. I think 11, maybe more. So yeah. I'm going to post the link in this video, and Luz, if you can post it in the chat, that would be greatly appreciated. So let's get back to our releases, our release. So we've covered Grok Code Fast. Now this one here, the init command, I've not tried this live. Let's see how this works. The init command is for initializing a project. I'm going to close these windows and okay. Analyze code base. Okay, I have 2 here. Let's remove my. Okay, yeah, built-in command right there. Boom. Let's make it happen. Thinking, initializing. What does this do? So it's checking for existing agents.md files and specified paths, identifying the project stack dependencies, analyzing the package.json, read the server.js, yada, yada, yada. It's looking around, it's digging, it's coming up with rules for the various modes. This is something that works best, in my experience, with Sonnet and Opus. And we are constantly working to get it to work better with models like Grok Code Fast. So here, let's see how it goes. Any questions, Dan? Adam?
I haven't seen any recent questions.
Pardon?
I haven't seen any recent questions. I guess one from AI Code King about either using GPT-5 Mini or Grok Code Have you ever used GPT-5 Mini, Hannes?
I
I
have
think
not.
I have.
Nope.
So in this case, I think Grok Code might be better from what I've seen, but I don't have enough information about GPT-5 Mini.
We can give it a try. Adam, I bet you know about GPT-5 Mini.
Yeah, I mean,
Sure.
I would probably put Grok Code ahead of GPT-5 Mini currently. Just the speed and the quality is just, and now the price of it, it's pretty good. That's where I would put it. But I need to do a little bit more digging into GPT-5 Mini. I had trouble, honestly, getting it to work consistently with tool calling, where Sonic, for example, or Grok Code, I really never ran into any tool call problems at all. So I put a lot of weight on that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes sense. What we have here is a bunch of agents files being generated. We have created a code rules, debug rules, ask rules, and architect rules. It also created a main agents .md. These the agents.md will work with other products that also use the agents protocol. The agents in the subfolders will only be read by Roo, so you don't have to worry about them polluting, your use when you're switching between Roo Code possibly and some other useful tools that are out there. So each one of these files, it came up with rules to try to give the large language model a bit of an idea of what they're getting into when you start a new task. And so this is something that you can run repeatedly. You can, change your project completely. So let's go and add, I'm going to show you here. Let's add a fourth game to our project. Let's see what happens. It automatically reads those files, the ones for coding, so it has an idea of what's going on. This project's small. I don't have code base indexing enabled, but it can see a list of the files as well. Roo actively can see in the context we're showing here, open tabs. It shows, it doesn't include those in the context. It includes their existence in the context. It says, hey, this file is open, or here are 500 files that exist in this project. Okay, so it is adding Tetris. Hey, I guess we have like probably 7 more seconds till this is done. Let's talk about, wait, we don't, CLI. We're going to talk about CLI. The battle of the CLI agents. Codex just came out with an update today. I don't recall the details off the top of my head. I know that they're probably vying for a spot with all the hype around Claude Code, which is, I think, one of our community's favorite tools besides Roo Code. I would venture to say some like it better than Roo Code. Everybody's got their choice, so let's see how this goes. We'll jump right back to that in a second. I'm bouncing all over as usual. Fun games. We have Tetris now. How do I rotate it? Bet you there's a way to do this. No? I mean, who knows? Okay, so we sort of have Tetris. Anyways, what I was going to show you guys about this is now I'm going to run init again and see if it updates anything about our project, describing what it does. So it's going to check for the agents files you can see here. Okay, it's reading them. Cool. Man, this model really is doing pretty good.
Yeah, I guess as we said before, it's not about failing the occasional right to file. It's about not getting stuck on a loop after it fails a single call, which we've seen with some models. After they fail once, they just continue failing forever. Yeah. So if the model, fails occasionally, probably more often than Sonnet 4, but it's able to keep going even if it fails, I think that makes
Yeah,
it
it can
a usable
recover.
model for sure. Yeah.
Basically, if it can sort of purge that poisoning and move on, instead of taking that failed tool call as the new,
Yep.
this is the new pattern to follow, and I'm just going to keep beating my head against
Correct.
the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Curious, do you guys have stats on the failure rate of this model? Has it been performing pretty good on Roo Code?
Those stats technically exist for people that opt into the telemetry.
Got it.
I don't. I have not looked at those stats. I mean, PostHog is a
So
very busy place.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's a good thing. Maybe we should get that for next podcast.
Yeah, it'd be
Really?
really interesting to know like failure rate if you've got like data on that, like failure rates between this and Sonnet, because I think both are like really good at tool calling. Anyway, go ahead, Dan. Sorry.
Oh yes, just was gonna say we have data on telemetry, but also evals collect failure rate. I think on the
Ooh.
diffs.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's also available. I wonder if we can show
Right.
that.
Well,
on
I think
the
running some
page.
updated evals would be. Oh, I see what you're saying.
It would be cool to see after the update. Again, I don't know how true it is, but everyone on X was posting that this model has been recently updated.
I
And
think
it's
that they're
better
right.
now.
Well, I mean, you saw the performance today so far.
It seems better than when I was using it.
And maybe somebody over there at X is just feeding us like the better model. They're watching us, and Okay.
They crack
Where are we? Is Sonic even on here?
We're working
No.
on evals for that.
Oh.
Matt is saying.
Cool.
Okay. It's not even on here. I mean, I should know this kind of thing, but I'm telling you, we're growing at such a rate that I have a hard time keeping track of everything that's going on. I 3 months ago or 2 months ago, I had a good feel for everything that was going on, and now each day I'm just trying to keep up to community stuff. I'm not
sure.
getting nearly as much involved in other areas, things, tweaking features, adding features, even making PRs. So yeah, it's gotten very busy. We're excited.
Not to go too
Okay.
far off topic here, but when you guys run these evals, are you kind of tuning all the parameters like temperature and top P, top K, that kind of stuff on any of that?
This is vanilla Roo.
Okay.
As vanilla as we can get it for sure.
Got it. Okay.
So no change. I don't. It would be quite difficult to maintain if you had multiple temperatures running for each model, I guess. So no, I think we run it on. Well, we do run it on 0
Default.
So default temperature, default prompt.
Well, different models have different default temperatures. A few of them, correct?
So the only thing, no, because Roo sets the default temperature to 0. So for Roo, it never omits the temperature. I think only for the OpenAI compatible provider, it's the temperature not sent. So it actually selects the default for the model. But everything else, I think we just sent 0 for the default.
Okay.
But the only thing that changed with this model, and Matt is mentioning it on the chat, is the read file tool. So we made a simple version for this model because it was struggling with our default read tool. So that is something we did change, and it's probably different in the evals. Basically, the tool is different. It's a bit simpler. That's just it.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Okay.
But it's yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's just saying that it's only for this specific model that we changed the read tool because it was having trouble for some reason with it.
Yeah.
Maybe with the new version that went away. It's probably something that we should
That'd
try.
be cool test.
Yeah. Oh, that would be a great idea. Okay, so let's dive into our topic, our random topic we came up with earlier today, the battle of the CLI tools. Let's start left to right. Dan, I'm going to leave you last for this one. Adam, CLI tools. What's your hot take on them?
I think they're awesome personally, and I think the reason for it is you're not locked into a single IDE, and it's a
Yeah.
lot easier to automate tasks. So I set up scripts to actually run the CLI tools to go do stuff for me, just in the background.
Yep.
So my general take is, I expected probably when Claude Code came out, I kind of figured everyone was going to follow suit.
Okay.
OpenAI, I think their Codex CLI one has actually gotten a lot better. I'd say when it first came out, it was rough. Same with Gemini. I mean, all these companies are rolling them out now. It's coming left and right, it seems like. Almost too many of them. But I do think
Yeah.
it's a very useful thing.
Yeah. Okay. Um, then my take on these is that they have been uh, interesting. I thought that at the beginning we were going to see a lot more of them as well, and as I've used them, I thought, okay, I'm going to use this just outside of an IDE, and it's going to, I'm going to say do this, and it's going to do that, and it did something, and I thought, well, I got to look at the code, and then I came back to, well, isn't that exactly what Roo Code is doing? It has a start, it has an end, and I review what's going on. And I love the idea of running these in the background to do a bunch of things. But I ran into the problem where we're just not there, where I actually trust the output, and I have to end up opening them in a CLI anyway. So I can run them in the background if I have limited compute, but I still have to get around to opening it in an IDE and checking out what it's done. That's been my personal experience. Dan?
Mm, I I use the terminal a lot, and I use CLI stuff a lot. But I just, as you said, Hannes, I don't think I trust the models enough just yet to let it run and not check what it's doing, not as it's doing it, but at the end. I like to at least take a look at the code at the end once it's
Right.
done. So have a terminal running and then have to go into my IDE anyways and open in the file or use cat or something like that to check the files. I don't think it's a workflow that I like. Definitely, if you have like scripts to run, so it goes to something maybe not editing files, but maybe research stuff, that would be something that I would use it for. But yeah, and also
Hmm.
I think I'm not going to talk about, I'm not going to generalize and say devs don't use the terminal that much, but I think people in general don't use the terminal too much, or if they use it, it's just because they have to, like SSH stuff and npm start, npm install.
Mm-hmm.
So I think most people prefer a graphical user interface, especially if they want to look at the files. Um, but yeah, CLI for me just feels very obscure. It's hard to know what it's doing, but that's just my preference. So yeah.
I was saying earlier that I think that 3 months ago or so, I thought that CLI makes a lot of sense because I saw us getting to the point of just giving a large language model a command and it producing something that I was ready to keep. I saw this as happening, and I think it is happening, but I saw it's happening much sooner than I currently think it's going to happen. I think it's going to happen, but I don't think it's happening this year. I think it's going to marginally improve over and over and over. And we've seen this with Roo as new models that are just way more impressive than the last one come out. They still require checking because we would love to just say, hey, fix this bug in Roo and commit the PR, call it a day. And it just, we test CLI tools to do that. I mean, Roo is not the biggest code base. It's not the smallest one either. Uh, and I think that it's a great project for testing these types of things. If these tools worked like that, then we could say, hey, let's add this feature and, scope it, give it to it. And it seems no matter how detailed that scoping is, it doesn't get there. And it does a great job, many of these tools, at getting most of the way there, and then we got to work on it. And so I can queue them up in the IDE or in the CLI, and then I have to come around to that work tree and open it in the IDE and review what it's done. And so I prefer to do this with something like Roo that I can scroll through, see what happened, maybe rewind a little bit, understand where it went wrong, so that I can review the chat and then reprompt it to do it again differently and avoid where it
Yeah.
went wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I can see the point you guys are coming from that perspective, but as a pretty big CLI user myself,
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of benefits to it.
Oh
For
yeah.
one, it's super lightweight, and it doesn't mean you can't check the code and follow through
Yeah.
what's happening. Like with all of these, I can go through and see like all the edits and changes that have happened. It's not hard to roll back. You can also prompt it to auto commit checkpoints along the way, and the planning.
That's handy.
All of it can be done. All of it can be done like in Roo Code. But the thing that I think is the best is you're not locked into an IDE. So you can take it to any repo that you want in any kind of code base, and it'll work.
Yeah.
And
And
I
it's quick
also like
to roll out.
the memory footprint on it. For the most part, it's typically lower.
Oh
So you
yeah.
can actually run. So a lot of times when you'll look at when I do have VS Code open, which I always do, I always have multiple VS Codes open. I probably have 5 open right now. I'll have 3 or 4 terminal tabs, and I'll have Roo Code on the left. I'll have like a couple terminal tools in the middle, and I'm actually working in the code base in multiple parts at the same time. And CLIs allow you to like run multiple tasks. Like one of them might simply be a fact finding mission, right? Like go find out how something's put together so I can start thinking about how I need to change it.
Basically your ask mode, right? Yeah.
Right. And I can do all that without being locked into a single chat experience, on the Roo Code side.
Yeah.
So it allows me to kind of bounce around. So I don't know. I think
That's
there's
a
a lot of
great
values
point.
to it.
Sure. No, TLIs have a lot of good benefits. I agree. It's just that I believe that there's a higher learning curve with terminals. People are usually don't use terminals too much. They use it for npm start. I'm not talking about devs. I'm just talking about people that are coming to
100%.
the code, AI code, scenario.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
say it's a different user persona, right? So you've got the people that are the power users. I'd like
For
to
sure.
consider myself one of those that are running multiple of these to go like do some architecture planning, to go find some stuff, or maybe like go look at a bug in a certain place. And then you're doing some stuff in Roo Code at the same time, and you're able to kind of like pull all that together and move forward pretty fast. And then you've got people that are scared of the terminal, where they open it up.
For sure.
They're probably more on the vibe coding, less experienced side. And they're not probably ever going to touch a terminal unless they have to, unless that was the only option. So I do think it's just the user persona. So I think you're right there.
Mm-hmm. And it shows when you bring up something like Aider, which has, it was way before Claude Code, and I think they have pretty advanced tools and strategies for like editing files. I think they have a pretty advanced, logic there, but you don't see a lot of people saying that they use Aider for everything. Maybe it is a problem with the tool itself. I don't know, or maybe it's a bubble here. Like everyone here just uses Roo Code, but I do notice that some people that are familiar with the terminal already go and stay with the terminal, like you're saying, like you love. I think you said Claude Code, and I understand that for sure. I also use the terminal a lot, but most people just use the terminal when they need to, and they just run away from it. They don't like it at all. So it's interesting.
I think about it like, because the company that I'm building, I've thought about it like, if I could go back in time and start from the beginning, I probably would have started building the CLI experience first, and then building on top of that as the root of everything. So then you kind of capture the power users that want kind of more down, and then you also can just build on top of it to ultimately use the CLI tooling that you've got to give this nice user interface on top of them. Because you're right, I will say some of these CLI tools are actually rolling out some pretty dang good like user experiences, which I didn't even think was possible. I'm not as familiar with like all the stuff that people are doing, but they're actually doing like actual rendering stuff in these CLI tools now.
I mean,
it looks
they are pushing the limits of what you can do in a CLI. It's actually pretty neat and impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, and then people are talking about warp.dev. See, I struggle with that one because warp.dev really isn't. I don't know. I don't consider that technically a terminal or CLI. I think that's more of like a wrapper around everything that has its own agentic coding built into it. So, but it kind of gets paired into that same world a bit.
Yeah. Well,
I guess the conclusion is you offer people options. So if they want to use the CLI, they can use it, and if they want to use a graphic, because you mentioned that they're improving the CLI experience so much that it becomes a graphical user interface at some point. It's a blurry line, I guess. At some point,
very lightweight one.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and being able to run stuff in parallel is actually very useful. Like, because it really is. I remember the days of code. Like, I coded with C++ straight for 7 years. That's all I used. And you'd have to go. We'd have this giant project that would take hours to build. So we would get the build kicked off. We're waiting for a release. We'd all go play Mario Kart or something. So you're sitting there waiting for LLMs. Kind of reminds me of that. So when you're locked into like a single experience, you don't really want to be. You want to be able to open up any number of windows and do a bunch of different things without having to open new IDEs for each one of them. So having that flexibility for me is very nice because I can just keep things going while I've got something running, and just keep moving.
Yeah. Okay, we had a
Mini. Wait,
Mini.
is it tilted? Did it tilt?
It's moving back and forth.
It moves.
I thought my screen was moving. I'm like, what?
The whole thing does it.
What is happening? That is wild.
Okay, this is Mini. This is pretty. I mean, that's a weird effect.
That looks great.
Oh, it is still tilting.
It's tilting while going. You're like on a boat playing it.
Yeah, I'm starting to get seasick. Okay, back to the arcade. We have Dodger. What's this? Okay, I gotta dodge them. Dun dun dun.
Yeah,
okay.
That's an original game. I like that. Well, I'm not original, but uncommon.
Yeah, so it's pretty clear the quality of this is just higher than what Grok Code did. So then when you're picking a model, you got to pick on speed. I don't know. Oh, it just hung.
No, it's going. It's
so like, what did this take? Probably 3 times as long as Grok Code did. Would be my guess.
Far
Maybe
longer than that. I mean, I think
longer.
that was maybe 10 minutes almost.
Yeah, but it looks way better.
Yeah, it's more thorough. That's for sure. I'm gonna
minus the tilting back and forth, which I do not get why it did that, but
I mean, we could pull that out pretty easily. I'm sure
we could. It's just that's so cool. It's kind of interesting.
So it just got the job done. Hunkered down, made us a README. Huh.
Can you control the reasoning level for this model?
You can.
Yes, you can.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this was on low. Well,
that was low.
It might have been on medium.
Okay.
There's a potential issue with the selector here. It says low, but I've got to verify that it's actually sending low.
Got it.
Because it took a little longer than I would expect for low. Okay, so we are through that, and I apologize to anyone who is watching this stream. I have not been focusing on the patch notes here for the release yesterday, and so if you were looking for a quick hot take on the release notes, I'm going to start over here. So people can just watch this part of the video if they're after it. Here is the screen. First off, this isn't a huge release, but it's 3.26. Grok Code Fast was revealed as the stealth model, previously called Sonic. We added our first built-in command in it. Thank you, Claude Code. We 100% copied this great idea. And just go in, type /init, just like in Claude Code. Quen Code CLI API support. So we've added Quen Code as a provider. You can install the CLI tool and go right into your provider, select it, and be on your way. I don't have it installed on this computer. Thank you very much, I believe, Klein, for implementing it, and we pulled it over. Was that correct, Dan? It was Klein that we pulled it from? Thank you very much, Klein. So shout out to you guys there. Keep up the great work. Minor updates here. Provider updates. DeepSeek version 3.1 on Fireworks was added. Provider visibility. Static providers with no models are now hidden from the provider list for a clearer interface. This isn't it. This is just a minor quality of life tweak. I probably could put it under here. Auto-approved toggle UI. The auto-approved toggle UI. Oh, this one's near and dear to me. I really do. Look, when you click it, you don't have to keep going up here to click it to get it back down. So I know that's such a silly little thing, but Adam?
Yeah, that's super nice, actually. I always misclicked that too before to actually close.
Me too. I click it and I'm like, dang it, and I go up here, over and over. And it was really just a small change, but it was one of those things where you're moving, trying to get so much done, and you just overlook it. So thank you to the contributor that helped with that. Open router cache pricing, cache read and write prices, are now displayed for open router models.
That's honestly really huge. So thank you for that. That's huge.
Why is that huge to you?
Because it's kind of it's very hard to know which of the open router models actually support caching, and then it's different per provider as well. So I'm assuming that this is going to handle the case where I select a provider that has it or don't, and then it'll go away. So that is going to be massive.
Yeah. Basically, if Open Router returns cache information, then we display it. Mm-hmm.
Cool. Protected workspace files, VS Code workspace configuration files are now protected from accidental modification. Thank you, another contributor. Bug fixes, security symlink handling, fix security vulnerability where symlinks could bypass ignore patterns. Another security one, default commands, remove potentially unsafe commands, npm test, etc., from default allowed list. These bug fixes, let me just see if there's anything sexy in here. To-do list settings. I mean, that one is sexy in my opinion because there is this new feature we haven't really talked much about, the to-do. The new task tool, which is used when you're an orchestrator, now has the ability to send a to-do list directly with it. So I will show you this. This is a test. Ask code mode, new task. Or no, actually, let's just go. Let's fix the seesawing of the UI. It's gross. I'm going to throw that in stealth. Let's see what this does. I'm going to show you guys. Let's get a to-do list. Come on, you can do it. Orchestrator. Create a new subtask. Okay, see, it tried to create it without the to-do. Ha! Okay, well, there's a tool call failure for you. This tool was adjusted. The idea here is that it sends it to the subtask with a to-do. I have this setting here. If you go under user settings and you look for Roo Code, we have this. See, there you go. It started the new task with a
That's
with a
awesome.
to-do list. Anyways, we have a new setting here that new task requires to-dos. This, to me, will make the orchestrator subtask follow much more clearly. So, depending on which model you're using for your orchestration versus code, etc. So this started in ask mode for some reason. Yeah, that is one of the notes. Then we have bug fixes, more bug fixes. So, not a huge update. To recap, Grok Code Fast is stealth, built-in init commands, and Quen Code CLI support. Do you have any questions, thoughts?
Definitely smaller on the new feature side, but on the fixes side, it's kind of big, right?
Have you guys given? Yes, that's right. Absolutely, which is something we keep doing. If you look at our, we probably should have went up to 3.26 some time ago. These weren't just all bug fixes. We have all sorts of features that are stacked in here. So, yeah. This week, what do we have up and coming? Has anyone tested out this new image generation tool? This Gemini Flash.
It's fantastic.
Yeah,
we
experience.
saw. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I'm integrating it into our product. Like right before I jumped on this call, that's what I'm working on. Is I'm putting it in as an experimental setting and what we're doing. It's great. We were using Flux One before, and it's so much better at creating variations than Flux One.
Yeah. Have you played with it, Dan?
I haven't played with it, but I did saw some great images from on the Open Router server, and it seems like it's quite good at generating like realistic looking
Variations.
images. Yeah, I do not think it's pretty great at creating like changing the style of a picture, like making it look like anime stuff. I did saw some issues with that, but making changes to images and adding like objects and stuff like that, I think it's great.
Or removing objects. You know those.
Yeah.
Removing objects. Yep.
Yeah. Can you remove this
yeah.
person from the picture?
Yep.
Requests. I guess that subreddit is going to be pretty dead.
Yeah, we that's exactly our use case, because what we do is we help generate like e-commerce emails, so people will be like, put this product with this person in this image, and it works
that's
so
awesome.
good at that. Yeah. So AI Code King actually mentioned it's not great at generating images from scratch. I actually haven't tested it. I've mainly been looking at the editing capability. So just to be clear, like my knowledge is on editing text on it, editing like an existing image that's already in place there.
Yeah. I tested it.
Great use case.
I had a picture of my daughter petting the neighbor's cat on their driveway, and I asked it to replace the cat with a lion. And I mean, when I showed it to my 11-year-old, he's like, well, that's AI. He wasn't saying that because obviously she didn't pet a lion. I mean, maybe that was part of it, but you could see that, it was really neat. But for things like that, he said that she looked different because it did adjust the way that she was, the direction of her face a little. And he noticed that. I just sort of was like, oh, well, that cat doesn't look that real. So it is pretty impressive, though, at removing objects. And if this is just the beginning, then I suppose within a few months, we'll probably have tools that do way crazier things than that.
No, we got to stop. Can I show you one example of something that we generated that we did testing? I'll do it really quick.
Sure. You have 90 seconds, maybe 60.
60 seconds? Oh, I can't share my screen. I think I'm locked out. Maybe because you're sharing.
Oh, no. Let me unshare. How do I do that?
I don't know if I'll be able to share. Oh, well. I can...
Let's unshare that. Stop streaming. How about there? Give it a try.
I can share. Yes, that's perfect. So let me do screens. Okay, so this is this is my starter image. I don't know if this has come through yet. You see that?
There we go. It's a
So-
picture of
Oh,
you
there you go.
Yep, this is me. Notice the like blemish on her
in high
forehead,
school. Yes.
and basically asking to give it in like a different pose. Like, look at this, and then changing the text in there, and then notice like she still has that same blemish on her forehead there. Like
Mhm.
the attention to detail is just phenomenal compared to other models.
Wow.
Anyway,
And it looks like
that's,
the same person, right?
Yeah.
It is.
It's incredible.
Well,
Yeah, because
I
I
guess
noticed that as well. You tell it to change the pose, and it changes the face of the person. It doesn't look like the same person anymore.
Yep. Yeah.
But this is great.
I'm pumped about this model, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Well, I guess that leaves us for the day. We are at our cutoff time. Thank you, everybody, for joining Roo Code Office Hours. We look forward to seeing you again next week. Have a great rest of the week and great Labor Day.